Have you ever wondered why communication is so important to your business? Recently, I was being interviewed for a summit, and we were talking about how communication helps your business grow. And the interviewer asked me, why does communication help your business scale? How does it do it? And what are the components of that? And I was kind of stumped because I hadn't really thought very deeply about it. I answered the question, and I think I answered the question well, but it wasn't well enough for me. So I wanted to dive deeper in there and unpack why communication is so important to helping entrepreneurs scale, especially when you're starting out in your business. You're within the first few years of your business. You have got to be able to communicate clearly in order for you to get established and then grow your business. So I decided that I would go deeper and learn a little bit more about what my thoughts were around that. And I came up with 5 reasons that communication is so important as an entrepreneur to help your business grow. The first reason is that you want to be able to attract the right clients and the right opportunities for your business. The better that you're able to communicate your value, the easier it is to attract aligned, high-paying clients. So important right now. And if you struggle to explain what you do or why it matters to the other person, scaling actually becomes an uphill battle. And none of us want that. Recently, well, not super recently, but a few months ago, I was in a networking event with a friend and a colleague. We've known each other for a couple of years, and we've spoken on stages together fairly regularly and support each other in our speaking. And she introduced me to one of her friends, and she's like, "This is my friend Dana." And I have no idea what Dana does, but whatever it is, she is amazing at it. Dana is amazing. And I smiled and we talked, and I told him a little bit more about what we did. But when I went home that evening, I started to think, if she doesn't know what I do after speaking on stages with me, I'm not communicating what I do very well at all. So I went on, a little goose chase, went down a few rabbit holes, if you will, trying to figure out how to better position myself so people understand what I did. And I found something from Chris Do, actually, that shows you how to communicate or tell other people what you do in a way that helps them understand it better. So I'm applying this, and this is one of the first times I've used this. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if it rang true to you or it resonated with you. So here's what I do. You know, when you hit a plateau in business and you feel extremely overwhelmed and you really don't know the next step to take, and you want to scale and you want to keep growing, but you're just not able to do it? Well, I'm the person that comes in and can help you get unstuck and find your pathway forward without all of the overwhelm. Now, that's so much better than saying, I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, and I'm a keynote speaker, and I help people with leadership and communication. Which one impacted you more? I think it's genius. We'll link the video below for the video of Chris Do and how he explains this, because I think it's very important and I want you to be able to use it. The second piece is delegation and team growth. You've got to be able to be an effective communicator so you can delegate things and then grow your team. So scaling then requires shifting from doing everything yourself as a solopreneur to leading others to execute your vision. And that frees you up to be able to focus on the most important things in your business, running it, being the CEO of your business, and also the whole reason that you started your business in the first place. What is it that you wanted to do? I want to help people. I don't want to do the bookkeeping. I don't want to edit videos. I don't want to do my copywriting, all the things. I want to help people and I want to help them grow. So you need to be able to bring people on that can help you execute that vision. And if you can't communicate to them what it is that they need to do in a compelling way and why it helps the overall focus of the business or the overall vision of the business, and then how they play a part in that, you're not going to be able to get them to row in the direction that you need them to do. Because If you can't delegate effectively and communicate what you need them to do, you're going to start getting frustrated. And then that's going to turn to micromanagement. And nobody likes a micromanager. So that also then leads to bottlenecks because you have to approve everything or do everything or whatever. And then you get burned out. And then you say to yourself again, I started this business because I want to help people do X, Y, and Z. But I brought these people on to help me to do X, Y, and Z. And it's not working. And now I have to do it all. And I'm overwhelmed again. And it's a vicious cycle that you can get into if you don't understand how to get out of it effectively. Don't be the bottleneck of your business. So if you're early on in your business and you want to start delegating, I want you to imagine that you're going to go on vacation tomorrow. You're getting ready to go on vacation. You're going on a cruise. You're going somewhere beautiful, some exotic location that you've been wanting to go to for a long time. And you get there, and then there's something that just urges you to open up your laptop or pick up your phone and focus on something in the business, do something in the business. What are those things? Remember, you're going tomorrow. What things will you think you have to do from afar? Now, I want you to think about how you can delegate those things because 90% of the time, 99% of the time, you can delegate everything and your business is going to run just fine. But you may not see that yet. And so this is a easy little exercise for you to think about, okay, what could I delegate? And then once you figure out what that is, all of the pieces that you can delegate that keeps you as the CEO and doing the thing that you love, you need to be able to communicate what it is you want them to do, why you want them to do it, and why it matters to them. And then step back and let them do the job. Don't be the bottleneck. The third piece is being a magnetic leader or magnetic leadership. I love teaching on leadership, but not everybody wants to learn about leadership. So I have to be clear about what it is that I'm trying to teach people to do. And people follow clarity. That's just the long and short of it. When you articulate your vision with confidence, you inspire your team, your partners, clients, maybe even potential investors to rally behind you in what you're doing. They want to be part of your bigger vision. And when you're unclear about that, it leads them to hesitate and think, maybe I don't want to buy from this person. Or maybe I'm not really in alignment with them. And so I don't really want to invest them with them, or I don't want to partner with them, or what have you, whatever it is you're trying to do. If you're not able to communicate that and they feel unclear about it, that hesitation is automatically going to be a no for you. And that slows your growth. So if people don't know how you can help them in any one of those areas, they're going to find somebody who knows how to help them. Or better yet, they're going to find somebody who knows how to communicate how they can help them. I want you to think about that for a second. You may be the best person out there as a coach. You may be the best coach in the world, but you know how to communicate that. And Joe Blow down the street, he knows how to communicate it really well. And he may not be a great coach and he may not do well in the execution piece at all, but he knows how to communicate it to the person and make the sale. Two things come to mind when I think about that. One, I've got to get clear on communication. And two, I need to hire Joe Blow down the street to sell for me. That's going to help you scale, especially if you're not good at sales. But you do need to be crystal clear in what you're trying to offer someone. And that kind of leads into number 4, which is sales and investor buy-in. So a lot of us spend time as business owners pitching. It's our favorite thing to do, right? Whether we pitch to potential clients or potential investors or people that we want to bring into the business, if your messaging is weak or confusing, you're going to struggle to convert with them. And the most successful entrepreneurs out there, they know how to communicate well. They know how to communicate their offer in a way that makes people want to say yes to them and don't even think about saying no. And really, the best way to do this, the best way for you to learn how to communicate this is to understand what their needs and their motivations are so that you can help them get what they want, not what you're trying to sell, not what you want them to do. You have to understand and execute and communicate what they want, solve their biggest problems. It's not about getting money for your business, and it's not about having people invest in your business so you can do these big things. It's about understanding what their wants and their needs are so that you can help solve their problem. If you're pitching to investors and they are willing to give you money, or they are potentially willing to give you money, you really need to get to know them a little bit and understand what their motivations are. Yes, they want to invest in something so they can get a return, but that's one piece. You also need to help them. You also need to understand what their motivation is. What big change are they wanting to affect in the world? What is the bigger piece there? And getting to know them a little bit and asking them good questions and communicating better with them helps you to understand that. So when you actually do the pitch, you're pitching to what their desires are. You're pitching to what their needs are, not what you want from them. You want to help them achieve something or overcome a very expensive problem. That's how you'll make the sales. And finally, 5 is client retention and referrals. This is the holy grail. If you can retain your clients and your happy clients are out there referring you to other people, you aren't having to do as much advertising. You aren't having to do as many, well, it's really, you aren't having to do as much advertising because your business is growing because of word of mouth. And there is nothing better than that. If you have clear and strong communication, it's not just about getting these clients, it's about keeping them and turning them into a referral engine. It's just a beautiful thing. When clients feel heard and when they feel understood and they're engaged in the process, they stick around because they're going to want more of that. And they're going to want more of your energy and more of what you're able to provide them. And all of this fuels organic growth. And if you have to choose between paid growth or organic growth, organic's going to win every single time. So those are the 5 reasons that communication helps you scale. And I want to leave you with the big takeaways that you should take from this whole conversation. And the first one is you have got to get laser focused on your business vision. You have to know exactly what your business does and what you're trying to achieve. And you need to make it so crystal clear and so easy to communicate that if you communicated it to a 5th grader and they understood what you're trying to do, you've done a good job. But it takes time to get to that piece. So take time to get laser focused on that. The second is to communicate what you want people to do simply and clearly. Again, if you can communicate it to a 5-year-old, a 5th grader, and they understand it, you're doing pretty well. The third is know the person or the group that you're talking to so that you can solve their problem. We talked about selling to someone, knowing what their problem is, maybe investors if you're wanting to get them to invest in you, maybe if you're wanting to bring a partner in. But the other thing that I do that I haven't really talked about is I speak on stages. And when I get invited to speak on a stage, there's a bunch of people in that room and I've got to figure out how to solve their problem. So I distill everything I'm doing now into kind of a one takeaway. What is the one thing I want them to remember as they walk away? When you coach somebody, if you're in the coaching business, you have time with them and true transformation can happen because it happens over time. When you're speaking in front of a crowd, you just have 50 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever the time frame is. You just have this finite amount of time that you get with them. So you want to make yourself as memorable as possible. And that's with leaving them with one thing to remember. And it helps you to solve their problem. You're just solving one problem and what that group came together for. And finally, it's really the most important thing. If you are taking nothing else away from this, I want you to take the thought that you need to learn all you can about communication and being an effective communicator so that you can scale your business. Entrepreneurs are generally all over the place and we love to learn something new. This is something that you need to put on your list that you need to learn very well. You need to learn how to communicate what it is that you do. You need to learn how to communicate the vision of your business, how, excuse me, how to help your team understand why they're doing what they're doing and what the bigger picture is. And you need to learn verbal communication and what works there. And you need to learn nonverbal communication because a lot of communication that we put forth is nonverbal. It's with our hands, it's with our face, it's with our actions. So diving deep into that communication, there are a lot of experts out there that I learn from. I just keep diving deeper and deeper into. I've learned a lot. Make that one of your learning objectives for this next quarter. Learn about communication. It will skyrocket your business. It will make a huge difference in your business. At the end of the day, your ability to scale is really directly proportionate to your ability to effectively communicate with others. And doing it in a way that's confident, that is clear, and that you have conviction about what you're doing and you know that you can help the other person. They'll believe in you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much for continuing to join me on Next Level Leadership. If you would, I would very much appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, because the more people that subscribe to the channel, the more that we can grow in our YouTube channel and bring more fantastic content to you so that you can continue to grow your business. I'm Dana Weaver, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Next Level Leadership.